Hi, everyone. It's Michelle Hill, your legacy builder at Winning Proof, and I am here today with Kelsey Krimmer from Simplified Giving. And I just want to jump into this. I don't have any bio to read today or anything. I'm just going to start the conversation with Kelsey. And how I met Kelsey was through a site that I am connected with, that I am a subscriber to, called Social Curator. And the owner of Social Curator is Jasmine Starr. And I also listen to her podcast all the time. She had Kelsey on as a guest on her podcast. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, simplified giving. You mean you can take all of the niceties and the gifts that I send to my clients and you can do it for me? Oh my gosh, that's how I met Kelsey. We started communicating on Instagram, and then I'm now her client because we, not automated, I guess we did. We automated my client. I send lots of love to my clients. I send welcome boxes and love throughout their book project. And then at the end, I do all kinds of things because I want my clients to feel valued and welcome and encouraged throughout their book and publishing process. So with all that said, hi, Kelsey, how are you?
Hello, thanks so much for having me. Such a fun way that you discovered me and my business, and it's just so great working with you so far.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So what prompted you to start Simplified Giving? What was what's the story, the origin story behind your business?
Well, how long do you have? The short version of how simplified gifting became to be, I started one version of a business and life happened, and then this little thing called COVID happened, which made a main pivot, and then just kind of listening to the market and like listening to people's requests relating to gifts, I realized, oh, if I take people's like gifts and I can ship them for them on their behalf, it makes it so simple. I was like, what should I name it? How about simplified gifting? So I kind of try to always think, how can I simplify it for my clients? And so after like pivots and like refining what my business was going to be and kind of who I was going to serve in like my business, my ideal client, I wanted to serve business owners who want to give gifts to their clients. So whether it's a welcome gift for working together, a thank you gift for your business, just a gift to surprise and delight them or show appreciation. And I realized the value of working with business owners. I found clients like you where you are doing it and you want to do it and you want to have gifts as like a way to distinguish and elevate your client's experience with you. But let's be honest, it takes so much time, from like sourcing gifts to finding really good pricing to then finding the box to making sure that like your gifts fit in the box, and then having to deal with packaging it, going to the post office, shipping it. Oh, and then you have to do this for 9 clients. So it's just so many details. And as a business owner, and especially if you're a solopreneur, like there's so many hats that you're wearing and so many things that you need to be doing, where sending a gift isn't really like a moneymaker where you could like always falls to the bottom of the to-do list, but really it can financially impact your business in a good way, in the sense that like that client relationship building, showing appreciation, giving gifts that make you be top of mind, where people will then talk about your business, which then can lead to referrals, where then that way it can help with like, then it can bring money. So there's that way that it can impact. So I love being able to work with business owners to be like, here, I will take your brand, your vision, your colors, package the gift in that. I'll do all the sourcing, packaging, the purpose of the gift. We'll send it to you, create a gift journey for whatever the purpose of the gifts are. So then but your client, it's from you. So like they don't really think, oh, who's like, what's this simplified gifting? Like they might see it as like a return address. But ultimately the gift is from you, and like your thought and like your story and messaging is all over it. I just do the logistics of it to make it simplified for you as a business owner.
Well, I love that. And it's funny because one of our first conversations was that I was telling you what I was doing for my clients. And a simple thing like make sure it all fits in the box. It was part of the conversation, because we can buy all of this stuff, and I have each of my new clients fill out a new client information sheet, and I have questions on their favorite color, favorite sport, favorite hobbies, favorite snacks, all this different kind of stuff. And you added some really good questions to that, so I added that to that. But you buy all of that stuff, and then you have this box that you want to send it in. Oh, shoot. None of that, it doesn't fit in the box. Or then you have to buy a bigger box and all that. So just the simplest thing like that, you specialize in putting it all together so it looks attractive and, you know, in the box,
and
right?
even with the look, like making sure it fits, making sure it doesn't look too crowded or too empty, where it's like, oh, here's a huge box, so here's the gift. So kind of making sure that it fits well, even like color coordinated, and especially with like companies branding colors, it's so fun to kind of like include that element. So, and yeah, and it's nice too, because then you don't have to like, oh, let me just run to the store and buy one thing. Because like, let's say you're going to Target, for example, you're not going to buy just one thing. So now you spent more time and money than you wanted to, as opposed to like, okay, I know Kelsey's going to ship this gift to my 3 new clients for this month, and I don't have to worry about it. Or I'll just communicate with my clients like, okay, here's the tracking number, so that you know that it was done and shipped, and you can kind of have an idea of when your client receives it. So then when they reach out to you and are like, oh, I'm so surprised, or like, I love it. And it's just kind of neat how that then makes them think of you more, just kind of like builds that relationship without you having to do any of the work. One of my clients actually said, yeah. One of my clients has said, I keep getting thank you messages, and they received a gift, and then I forgot that I actually did it because I didn't have to do the work because you did it all. So it's kind of neat that I always try to use it as a slogan of like, I help you look good without any of the work.
Yes, I love that, because one of my mantras for my clients is when I was a ghostwriter, and now for my ghostwriters, I say they just take your words and make them pretty on the page. And that's what you do with the gifting. And I'm so excited about this, because I can send you promotional pins, my branded pins, and you are actually, when I can do that, you are going to create a branded note card. So I've never had that in my business before. And so that's why I'm really excited. But yeah, I'm super excited about it. So explain a little bit about your process, how it works from a time like when I came to you and said, oh my gosh, I think that I can do this. Because I think one of the first things on my mind was, oh, she's too expensive, I can't afford it. But tell people how you work, as far as I tell you the budget, like this is my budget for, you know, low end, mid-range, low range, mid-range, and high range, and how you work like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So 2 things I want to answer based on what you said. So some of the services that I provide. So yes, I'll kind of like do all the gift sourcing within your branding. So like colors, like how can I bring your brand to life in this gift? And like, what's the purpose of the gift? Because if it's something of like, oh, you're writing a book and it's really stressful, let me send you like relaxation gifts, where like that's not going to have like, oh, winning proof all over everything's the colors and like a pen, and because that's not the purpose of the gift. We're like a gift where it's like, welcome to working with me, here's an idea of what it's like, what to expect. Like that's where the branded pin, the colors all come into play. So I love that process of just getting to know you and your clients and kind of like what the purpose is, so then we can kind of brainstorm on like, how much money do you want to spend? What investment would you want to spend per client? Because they're spending money with you. And how can you determine what the good amount of money to spend on gifts for that client base? Because because there's definitely a way to make it a good return on your investment, where like if the person's going to be with you for, let's say, a year-long journey, because maybe that's just how long it's going to take, you could like kind of, where could you stagger in gifts where like they're feeling like, wow, she's still thinking of me. It's not like, oh, I just sent my first draft of my book, and then it's just like a pause period, but like whatever those moments are where you can like surprise them, then that's just going to make them feel more seen and appreciated, and then talk to you. And then the next time they're at a networking party and someone says, oh, I really want to write a book, where should I go? Of course they're going to say, oh, Michelle, she's so great. So that's, yeah. So a part of my process is I always start by meeting with the client, seeing like, what's the purpose, and like, how can I help bring that to life, as far as like, your client spending this much money, how much money do you want to spend on a gift? And of course you can always spend, like, I try to work within your budget, because as a small business owner, I know that like you want to be intentional with where your money is going. So like, if you want to do like a smaller gift or a larger gift, like I will work within that to make it work, because I don't want to, because I know that there's Michelle and I have talked about this before, like there's a lot of people that do what we do, but like that you like, we are the people who bring our businesses to life and like have that individual touch and kind of like what makes it our own thing. So I like to be that flexible, as far as like, I don't, my minimums are flexible in the sense like I don't like hardcore, like you have to order 20 at one time for me to consider working with you. Like, no, I understand that like business and like clients come in ebbs and flow, and like they have different seasons of when you're busy, when it's slow. So I understand all of that. So I try to work closely with my clients to make it so that they are utilizing gifts the best way that they can in their business to send to their clients. Because I don't want people to be like, oh, I had to buy 20 gifts. And I only needed 3. Like that just puts a negative experience on us, like me and my client interaction. And I don't want to do that, because I want to make it simple and like my client excited, like, oh, I'm sending these gifts to my clients without any of the work. So as far as process goes, just kind of making sure that we're on the same page as far as like, what are your branding? What's the purpose? How can I implement your vision? And like, I'll handwrite cards for each gift. So then it's that personalized. So I can do like, it's nice to be able to add that like branded elements to gifts, personalized elements, thoughtful, like with their favorites included into the gift, just to up level the whole thing. And then as far as like services that I offer, people can just utilize different ones that from, there's like the full, I want a gift, I want this shipped every time I have a new client. So we kind of create a good system for, okay, just send me that new questionnaire form, then I have the contact information, and then I send you the tracking number when it's all done. So there's that whole gift. And then I'll do like drop shipping, where like, let's say you have a lot of branded items, but you just don't want to deal with shipping, packaging, the post office, all of that. You can send that to me. I'll make it look pretty and ship it out. Or some people will just say like, oh, I have a certain item, but I don't know what it could go with. Like, what could you do there? So I like to work with business owners just to make it the best way possible. And then I can design, like stationery note cards. And I try to work with small businesses as much as I can, as far as where I get products from. So there's lots of different elements to my business, but all in the umbrella of how can you bring your brand and client relationship all together to like build that all together to make it a good investment all around.
Yeah, I am so glad I found you, because it is so much time, and I put so much time. And like you said, you go into Target, you go to, all these different places, or order things online, and you have to wait for them. You have to arrange them, put them together. If that's not your gift, then then you have to go to the post office, which can be traumatic at times. So,
especially around holidays.
oh man, yes. And so I'm really thankful, but I want to cover the other aspects of your business. You are a mom of 2 young kids, a 4-year-old and 11-month-old. Yeah. How do you balance everything? Because we were just talking before we went on. Was it the 11-month-old that was crying?
Oh, currently, yes.
Currently.
I put her down for her. She fell asleep on me. So sweet. And then I put her in the crib. Bah! Just cries her cute little head off. And I'm like, okay, I know you're sleepy. You need to fall asleep. I need to go chat with Michelle. So yeah, it's challenging. I'm not, to be completely honest, but in my mind, it's the best form of challenge. And I'm very appreciative that I even have the opportunity to have my business, because I love my business and just like the creativity that it includes and like the challenges and just like the opportunity to serve so many different business owners. And even my husband the other day was like, I was talking about this new client in Wisconsin, and he was like, how do you meet all these people? Just like that's the joy of like social media and like being online and just connecting with people, because you don't know who you're going to connect with that then connect you to someone else. And so I'm thankful that I just have the opportunity to be able to have my business at home. So then I have the flexibility for working it during nap times and in the evenings and in between kind of like the busyness and demands that come with two little ones. And then I do just try to be mindful of like, what can I accept now in my workload and what I can't. And then I also try to like be very present where I am like, okay, I'm with kids right now. Like, don't try to think about business, and vice versa. Like, I'm doing business things. Don't worry about like what's happening with my kids, which is easier said than done. But it's just something that I strive for, of not having to be like, okay, like where am I, and like be where your feet are, which I feel like that just in the mompreneur space of just kind of being like that can help with the mom guilt of like being where you are is helpful, and like thinking about where you're not will not benefit kids or business or you or like or your mental health. So but yeah, it's a challenge where I feel like every day I'm trying to figure out how to make it a little bit better and try to I think it has forced me to be really productive in the times that I do have
Mhm.
kid free to work on my business. And I'm very blessed to have a supportive husband where he's just like, I'll build boxes for you. So he helps me in a
Yes.
lot of business aspects. And then I have a village that helps with like the kid aspect and the business aspect, which just that community makes it possible.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, I have another question, but I want to insert a question in between. And
Ask as many as you want.
okay, so we met through the social curator site, and I keep telling people, like small business people, and I have the affiliate link on my website and everything. I'm all in,
Ooh,
even though I don't use it as much as I want to, but it's on my schedule to just do a deep dive into that. So we met on there, and what benefit has that specifically helped your business? Like, have you met women? I mean, we didn't meet specifically on that. I reached out to you because of the podcast, but how is your business growing because of being on Social Curator?
oof. That's a good question. Well, if you're listening to this and if you're a small business owner and if you have the idea of like, oh, I hate social media, it's fill in the blank. Time consuming, challenging, ever changing, the algorithm hates me, I'll never survive, I'll never reach my ideal client. Erase all of that. Because I feel like with social media, first of all, you should be social so you can like meet people and like talk about your business, because if you don't talk about your business no one else is going to, and if you don't talk about it your ideal client will never find you. But I feel like with Social Curator, it's such an amazing resource for business owners to take this like elephant of a project, like, I have to talk about my business on social media, but how can you put it in like bite-sized pieces where it's attainable and doable, where it's not like, so Social Curator, as Michelle mentioned, is created by Jasmine Star, and she always says like, do what you can, where like there's so many resources within Social Curator, but like you can't implement all of them in the same week. But it's like, what can you do? And like there's so many like caption templates, photo gallery, like we have pictures available to you, story templates, like each month has a different theme of like, how can you make reels in 10 minutes, or like with or without your face, and like how can you showcase the benefits and excuse me, features of your business in a way that's like speaking to your ideal client, like so they can find you. So it's kind of like gets rid of the fluff. Here's what you need to do and how to do it. Here's all the resources. Here's people to help you there. Have fun. But it's very much like they'll give you all of the information, but you just as the business owner have to take that action and take that step forward to implement all of the tools, because they can give you everything on a silver platter, but if people are like, oh, it doesn't work, it's like, well, are you doing the work to make it work? But it's just a great community of business owners and so diverse of different people within the industry of like product based, service based, people who've been in business a month, 10 years, all over the map. So it's just a great resource that I'm thankful for, that I always try to like filter posts through the social curator like
Yes.
mindset. But even I like, yeah, with all of my clients and business, like just life, I can't post every day, but that's where the Jasmine Star quote of like, do what you can when you can, and just kind of the importance of like, if you can post 3 days a week, great.
Yeah.
Do that consistently. And then how can you improve it to 5 days a week? Like just showing up for your audience and kind of like putting different types of inventory, as she says, from like a reel to a post to a carousel, like having that like will just help your business grow. So it's just been an amazing resource, and I'm just so thankful for Jasmine Star, and thankful that I had the opportunity to even chat with her on her podcast when she did a group coaching episode, which I'm thankful that it led Michelle to me.
Yes.
So it's lots of perks of social curator. Can't speak high enough of it.
I know,
It's
I know.
great.
And I love how she says, just, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just do it. You know, don't wait until you're dressed perfectly, as of course I am not today. I'm very
No
casual.
one will notice.
We're not going to worry or stress about that at all. But she just says, just do it. You know, just
Mhm.
don't wait till you don't have to know everything about doing a reel. All you have to do is pick up your phone and put IG in there, and just figure out how to do your first reel. That's it.
Yeah.
So I
Because
like
if you put that pressure on you, if it's like, oh, it has to be perfect, or I have to wait until I have all my ducks in a row, you'll never do it.
no,
So get one duck, then get that one going, and then add another one. So I feel like that, like even with social media, like, oh, everything's perfect and like color aesthetic and all that. It's like not everything is like that. Maybe just what you see is, but like you can show up and like that real authenticity behind the scenes. Your ideal client might relate to that more than like a perfectly colored branded page on Instagram. So I feel like if you just show up, kind of like remove the fear, because everyone's so concerned of what they look like on social media and all of that, that they're probably more afraid of that as opposed to like pinpointing little things that you might think are
exactly.
wrong. So,
Yeah, no,
but
that
it's so beneficial.
yeah, I think it's so beneficial. And that's why I immediately, when I signed up for the free trial, I did the affiliate link. I mean, I jumped in, and I posted it and all that. So it's a really great site. But through the Jasmine Star show, and I watch it on or I don't watch it, I listen to it on Spotify. That's where I met Kelsey. And then we started, I don't think I had ever really even like sent a bunch of messages, like DMs through Instagram, but we started doing that, and that's how we just made the connection. I'm thinking, okay, this isn't going to, I can build what I'm spending already, and just send you the budget, and then you just send me an invoice. I think you call it an invoice every time you send something, and then it's just deducted from that amount. So you can customize it depending on that. So that's what I really like about that. So to kind of turn
To that point, oh, can
yeah,
I add one little thing?
yeah,
I feel like from a financial standpoint, like we had mentioned earlier, just like you want to be intentional of where you spend your money.
yes,
I feel like by having a plan, like, okay, here's my budget, this little amount is going towards whichever type of gift. That way you as a business owner know what you're spending, instead of like, oh no, I was supposed to ship this gift and now it has to be done next week and
yes,
now I'm behind and I'm just going to run to the store, buy stuff, hope it fits, get it out. Where like with the plan and having a strategic kind of way of it being part of your marketing, like that helps from a financial point, as opposed to some people who might think, oh, gifts, take it off the, I don't want to spend money on gifts. But really, when you're strategic about it, it's part of the plan. You can see the benefit of like just that relationship. It makes so much sense.
it does. And anybody who hasn't read the book, The Power of Moments, is really where the idea originated, like, I want to create those power of moments for my clients. And, that's where Kelsey is really going to come in wonderfully handy because I have an NFL alumni client that loves Twizzlers. He put that as his favorite candy on his information sheet. And I get my packaging or my envelopes from Dollar Tree. And I put the Twizzlers with a note in a Dollar Tree envelope and ship it off. He's thankful for them. I mean, he thanked me. The packaging, it wasn't, but Kelsey is going to raise the bar on that. So I'm really thankful. But I wanted to kind of turn a corner and ask you, what pain have you had to overcome to start and maintain your business? Do you have, did you have self-doubts? Did you have, what internally happened in you that you had to push past?
I think, well, I still am probably working through different things and different things that come in of there's this other gifting company that other people could easily work with, probably a quicker turnaround, because when I work with a client, I will create a proposal, but I make it very specific, with your branding, colors, here's what it looks like, here's how it works for your clients, and it's very intentional and designed for you. So and it takes time because I can't just okay, we finished the call, I need to put it all out and get out, because I then have to do gift research, give you an idea, a visual of here's what the gift could look like, and it takes time, which I don't always have that time readily available. And that's the part that I'm oh, someone can do it faster and ship the gift out, or someone's website might be more SEO optimized for showing up when people search gifts, or they might be able to do everything in a few clicks and be done and not have to think about it, which I'm great, that could work for some people. But then I'm just trying to remind myself I'm good at what I do, in the sense that I strive to make my clients feel like I can be their gifting fairy godmother, a fairy gift mother, in the sense that you could come to me and be oh no, I forgot, I need to get this gift out, can you do it? I will do everything I can to make it happen. So I feel like I'm very responsive in just communication wise, to make sure that you feel like I've seen whatever we're talking about, and I try to make it personal. I go the extra mile, and I will fit it in to what I can and make it a priority. Where I feel larger gift companies, it's here's what you have to do. Oh, here's this gift, you have to send it. But I like to be able to add Twizzlers, just for example, add the Twizzlers, add the favorites into the gift, plus a few branding elements. So then it has that personal and branded gift components, and then at prices that aren't $200. So I try to just source gifts that just financially can make it work for my clients. But yeah, it's just challenging because I'm just other people could do it faster, but I just have to realize I provide a really good service. It's fun to see my clients' relationship with their clients, and not even just clients, but vendors using it as thank you gifts or referrals, and just that appreciation that is help spreading. It's I'm doing something good and worthwhile, and yeah, it might take a little bit longer, and I might have to be able to not be able to take on as many clients because I'm only one person. But I'm kind of that's also, I think, the thing that makes my business unique is that I'm not just oh, here's something that I've sent to 19 other people in the last week, but it's oh no, it's this really unique gift. So I think that's a pain point of I'm not as fast. I don't have a warehouse. It's all at my house at the moment. But that's just the stage that I'm in with my business, and it works well. And if it doesn't work for everyone, I'm not for everyone. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, exactly. And we talked about before we got on here too, about having a target market and serving everybody. You can't serve everybody. No business can serve everybody. And so it's narrowing it down to 2 or 3 top target markets that you think that you believe and that you're passionate about, businesses that you want to serve. So it's not
Yeah.
just, oh, I want to I want to do this for everybody in the whole world. No, we've got a funnel here and you want, two or three top businesses that you want to target,
Yeah. Where like I have so many ideas to grow my business, which I'm very excited for when I get to that point to be able to do. But in this season, two little kids, which I will fly by, and I don't want to miss out on that. And I want to just be able to enjoy that while I'm home, or being able to have my own business. I feel like having that growth in the future, I will work for it and strive to make that happen. But in the moment, like the clients that I do have, I want to make sure that they feel very well taken care of and that they're confident in the gifts and like happy with what is going out. Instead, I don't want to make my clients feel like, oh, did you get, like, is this happening? Like it was like gifts being shipped out, because I want to like just have a good relationship with the people that are my clients to help their relationship with their clients.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And that's what
yeah,
it's
so
all
there's
about.
always those, yeah, that like, oh, imposter syndrome of like, oh, who am I to do all these big things for people? It's like, but no, I'm very capable and like worthy to have these jobs and like great clients like you that I can do it and like make them feel confident in what's happening with their gifting strategy. So,
Yeah.
and my workload is working well. It's keeping me very busy between my current clients and my babies. So, it works out great.
I'm excited, yeah. And I know that as your kids get older, your business will probably shift. You might get busier, you might be able to adjust, you might be able to take on more clients, undoubtedly, but that we were talking also about, this phase is just, you have created something that works for you, that you can spend time and be where your feet are, as you said before, and just enjoy all of your little ones.
Yeah.
Your two little ones. Could there be more coming, or are you done with two?
I'm done with two. Very happy
Done with
with the
two.
two.
Okay.
But also to quote the amazing Jasmine Star, she's like, "It's your business. Like, make it work for your life. Like,
Yeah.
don't be hurry up like a duck. We're like super frenzied on the bottom, like trying to swim and survive, but like calm on the top. But it's like, make your business work for your life and how you want it to be. Like, if you're going to accept clients and it's going to make you really overwhelmed and stressed out all the time, don't do it. Like, make it work for what works for you in the season that you're in, and then the rest will come." So I'm like, so her saying that, I was like, that's such a good reminder. Like, why would I take brand new clients when I can't handle it? So I'm like, I will take people who I can work with in that season and like get their gifting needs. And so I'm like, so I'm constantly learning in ways to evolve of like making the baby and business life balance. Although what is balance? It's kind of, yeah, being where your feet are when you're in that moment
It's harmony.
and see how it
Maybe
evolves.
not balance. It's harmony, working in harmony with your kids' schedules, with their sleeping schedules, with their eating schedules. And I'm sure I can pretty much guess this, that the 11-month-old and the 4-year-old are not on any type of similar schedule with eating
Oh.
and sleeping and all that, right?
Ah, they're very sweet together. Like, and I feel like they already have a cute like sister bond.
Oh,
So
good.
like they'll eat mostly at the same time. Or like if the older one's eating, I'll just like put the baby in the high chair and like
Okay.
feed her a little. Yeah, so I kind of make it work. But as far as like a set schedule of like this happens all the time, no,
Yeah.
that does not happen. So it requires a lot of flexibility of parenting. I feel like flexibility and being patient are like two main attributes that like have to happen with babies, but also in your business too, like being patient with like, if I'm in the work window and I send someone information I need right now, it might not happen. So like, how can you be patient but still help them with other things or do other projects in this work window? So yeah, I feel like in life, flexibility and patience are very helpful.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And what you, even if, taking the kids aside, what you start out with in your business, how it looked a month ago, is not how it is now, not how it will be 6 months from now, 5 years from now, however, what the life cycle is. It's we're always evolving in our business and as people, because what you start out with, your business isn't going to look the same 5 years from now, because you will.
Exactly. When my business started, it kind of even had a different name. It's in the bag, because I was doing event favors and like welcome bags for like in group staying in hotels. So that was kind of like event and then favors for events, but that has evolved because like when COVID happened and all events and like groups stopped, I had to pivot. And so that's when I was like, oh, I could ship gifts. So yeah, it's pivoted multiple times, and it's been great to see that refining, to see what works in the season of life that I'm in, which I was kind of laughing recently, like baby development. It's like this relates, connects with business, but like you might get used to like whatever season, like, oh, they develop to this point, and then you get used to that system and time and schedule, and then they develop again, so that changes. And I was thinking that totally relates to business, where like things are going well, but then maybe like a new opportunity or new training that you heard, and then you can up level how you function as a business owner. And I feel like being open to that like continuous development and improvement can only work so well, or like can work so much better for you as a business owner and for your business. So it's been kind of neat of just being flexible with kind of like following the growth and the opportunities to see how that can impact your business.
Yeah, and
Exciting.
that is. I was just going to say that. That's so exciting to see the different phases and the pivots and the adding the services, because that's what I've done during the years is just, oh, I have a new service. You still have your base business, but you're adding value added services at the same time. So it's all really exciting. To see your business grow like that. So on that theme, what have maybe 2 or 3 top things, what have you learned about yourself through the growth and development of your business?
I think so probably just like being open to change, because it will change. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what kind of client's going to send a message to you spontaneously that you don't know. I think just being open to change, because it's just helpful and helps your like mindset of like, if you get set on something like, this is the only way I'm going to create gifts and like everybody has to take this, like that's not the type of business I want to have. So I'm like, I want to change and make it fit other people's businesses and like what they want to send, to make it just more appealing and kind of serve how I want it to be used. So I think open to change is a big lesson that I've learned in while being a business owner, and like which that does kind of include flexibility, which I had briefly mentioned on. And I think too, just kind of like challenging yourself of like not being stagnant of like, okay, things are going well, how like staying in this, but it's like things are going well, but how can I make it better to make it for people? Like I have a wedding planner client that I was working with, and things are going so well of like how she tells me she needs gifts, like when I send gifts to her wedding couples. But then I recently thought of an idea. I was like, oh, why don't we try this to make it even better and simplified for probably both of us, but also for her as a business owner. It's like, if I add this information, it'll help you know how much money you're spending on gifts per couple, just so you have, and you know when gifts are sent. And she loved that idea, where I didn't necessarily have to add this new level of more work, but it will ultimately have it make things simplified and then help her as a business owner. And then if I can do things to help her business run better, then that's going to make her want to work with me even more. So that's been a neat relationship, that just kind of not being, yeah. So back to the answer, I'd say that not being stagnant in like things that are working well, but like challenging yourself to find ways to make it better.
Absolutely. And I love those 2 answers, because those 2 things are essential for any business owner to have. It might look a little different for every, for individuals, but that
absolutely
adaptable and just, and you know what, to speak back to that imposter syndrome, oh, we just got to let that go, huh? I mean, I think we all, especially, I know men struggle with it too, but women a lot struggle with that imposter syndrome. And oh, you see all these bright, shiny, perfectly laid out everything. And it's not, based maybe in our reality. It's nothing is going to be all perfect, but to your point of just being adaptable to change, yeah, we're always going to be making our businesses better. We're always going to be, and then someday somebody's going to look at your business and say, oh, I wish I could do it like she does. Oh, I wish I was as developed and polished as Kelsey is in Simplified Giving. And then you're going to say, what? Because the journey. And I think often we don't know the journey of those that we see that have made it, the 20 year overnight successes,
Right. Yeah. Where you think, oh, that came so easy to them, but you don't know the backstory. And yeah, like you said,
Yes.
the journey. And it's neat too, because you don't know, just by working through things and moving forward and like doing things to invest in yourself and your business and like improving things, you don't know who that's inspiring or like who's seeing you.
Yes.
Kind of even with social media, people will like watch your stories, post your reels so much, but they might not ever talk to you, and then all of a sudden they'd be like, oh hi, like then they will engage, and you don't know like at what point someone's like, if your service like that someone needs it, but just like that, you sharing your journey and like even like posting or like going live if no one's there, or kind of like speaking to an empty room. Like if you keep showing up for yourself and your business, you don't know who that's going to inspire. And then when they say, oh, I want to do it exactly like Kelsey, like I think people are their own worst critics. I'd be like, what? Why do you want to do it like me? But it's like, oh, because I've done good things in my business. That's why. Let me help you.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, that's so real. And we just like, and I know we've quoted Jasmine Star a lot on this podcast, but
she's quite quotable.
She is quite quotable. Absolutely. But she says, you have to love your business so much that you are willing to speak to an empty room. If nobody shows up for your webinar, if nobody shows up for your speech, if nobody shows up or people aren't commenting, yeah, you might eventually want to look at what you're posting and all that, but you have to love your business so much that you keep on doing it. You can't let the lack of people deter you or say, I just give up. Well, then you failed for sure, but you have to keep working through and just be in love with your business.
Yeah. And it's so fun too, because if you keep going, that persistency and like moving past the hurdles, because you're going to have hurdles no matter what. It's kind of like where you go from like, oh, your first live, no one's there. Your second live, maybe your best friend and your mom. And then your fifth or seventh live, oh, there's 12 people and I don't know them. And then like it just keeps growing. Or like I had a subscription box at one point and I was like, I know all of these people. It's like a friend, my dad, and like other people. But then I got to the point where I didn't know them and I was like, oh, that's so exciting. Like a stranger who doesn't know my story or know anything about it, like sees my product and like sees value in it and wants to give me their money in exchange for it. It's like, that's great. And how's that for validating? So it's neat to see that growing too. Of like last month for December, I feel like I had like a really successful, not like high record number of gifts shipped out, and I didn't know all of my clients. I was like, oh, this is so validating.
Yeah. And that's where, like we talked about your zone of genius, and that's where that you're doing what you are called to do, because it just brings you such joy. And that's, like on your face when you talk about that, you're exuberant about it. And that's really exciting. I get the same way when I talk about people, with people that say, I want to write a book. Oh my gosh, really? Okay, well, let me, and I get all, joyful about it because that's my zone of genius. So I think that's really important. And okay, last question. And I know I keep, I've said that we're going to wrap up, but I have to ask you this one. What do you want to teach your girls, or do you have two girls?
Yes.
Okay. What do you want to teach your girls about being an entrepreneur, a solopreneur?
That there's endless possibilities in life. Where like, don't let people like put you in a box like, oh, you have to do this, or like you're only capable of doing this. But it's like, no. So yeah, endless possibilities. You can do hard things and like do something in life that brings you joy. Because like
Yeah.
me creating gifts for my clients brings me joy because I know that it's helping them and then it's helping their clients, and it's just really neat. And plus, who doesn't love getting a gift?
I
So
know.
if I can help that and like spread joy in that sense, like, so I would definitely want my daughters to know that they can do something that they love, and like I want them to want to do something that helps people, and that there's a lot of possibilities, and not let people be like, no, 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 you can't do it. It's like, no, you probably can. You might even be able to do it better than whoever is saying you can't do it. So,
I love
which has been really fun too. My 4-year-old, I'll include her as much as I can even now.
that.
So like I have relaxation types of gifts, and I'll put like matches in a little jar, and then I'll put like a little branding sticker on there, so I get them in bulk. And then I'll have her help me count out like, okay, make a pile of 10 matches. And it's just like a way to, because
Love
then
it.
like she's learning math and then helping mama, and like it's actually kind of helpful, and she does a really accurate job.
Love
So now I'll be like, oh, what does mama do for her business? And she goes, you sell matches.
it.
Like, I do sell matches, but that's not all. But it is kind of fun to already include her in like what I'm doing,
I
and
love
so
that.
then I can pass my gifting empire on to her if she
Yeah.
wants to have it. So
I love that.
yeah.
Yes. My mommy sells matches. Imagine
I
the people that are going to say, what? You're
I
oh,
why don't you sell matches? It's like that's not a very good business because that's you can get them anywhere, but
I love that.
well, it's include
Yeah.
some other items too besides matches.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love that. Yeah. Because I think it's all about teaching, no matter what age your kids are, it's all about teaching them what you're learning and just passing that baton of those life lessons onto them and have them
Yeah.
grab it and do their own thing. If they want to do the same thing, great. If they want to do something different, they have the principles to do what they want to do and do it great.
Yeah, which even with the life lessons, if I do have to drop her off somewhere, like someone watching her so I could do work, she's always like, no, mommy, don't leave. And I'm like, I don't have to leave you that often, which I'm thankful for that I can. But like right now, I do need to. And then when I'm done, I can spend time with you and we can play, go to the park, whatever type of, or like even that, and like, oh, dad, mommy and dad are gonna go on a date, but we still love you, we're gonna come back. So just kind of like showing her like priorities in life, and just kind of like, you're still a priority, but like this is what I have to go do now, and then when I come back. Yeah, so I feel like it's also, yeah, lots of good life lessons where down the road, if she wants to take over my business or do her own thing, it will be very transferable skills.
Very much so. Yes. I am so thankful for our time today, and I want to have you tell everybody where can they get in touch with you, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, small businesses, and whoever else needs gifts sent to clients and they want a creative branding experience. Where can people connect with you?
Yeah, so it's at Simplified Gifting on Facebook, Instagram, um, and my website is www.simplifiedgifting.com. So if you're looking for a way to, yeah, just make it easy to and stress-free to give gifts to for referrals, thank yous, clients, all the things. And if you're ever looking at my website and think, I wonder if she does this, I probably do. It just isn't on my website because I want to make it really simple. So just always send me a message. I'm always open to chatting, seeing how I can best serve you to help you in what you're doing. And then if you want to eat, yeah, there's multiple ways to contact me on Instagram or my email, but or website, but it's Kelsey at simplifiedgifting.com if you ever want to chat.
I love that. Thank you, Kelsey, so much for spending time today. I really appreciate you. And I'm so glad I'm your client. You have revolutionized a whole segment of my business, and I'm very thankful for you.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to chat with you, and I'm excited to work with you even more and kind of seeing how this elevated gift experience helps you in your business along the way. So it'll be fun to be part of that. So
Yeah,
thank you.
absolutely. So I just want to tell everybody, so I'm in Toastmasters and I just said 2 forbidden words. So and for all my Toastmasters listening out there, oops, but and there's another one, but I'm so conscious of those words. You can reach me at winningproof.com. I will put all of Kelsey's information in the show notes. I will upload this probably a little later today by the time it uploads, and I have to do what I have to do. So maybe in a couple of hours, it will be on Facebook and LinkedIn and anywhere else that I can figure out how to upload it. So that is
Sounds
it
good.
for today. Thank you, Kelsey.
Thank you, Michelle.